Hello, I'm Lenna Hobson with RagApple Lassie Vineyards in Boonville, North Carolina, and you're watching another episode of Wine and Real Estate TV.
This episode of Wine and Real Estate TV is sponsored by my real estate team, the Morton Group, where our motto is you-centered real estate. Everything we do is focused on you. Learn more at our website, which is themortongroup.com. Hi, it's Chris Morton with another episode of Wine and Real Estate TV, continuing our tour of the Yadkin Valley, the center of North Carolina and our wine region. Very excited as a local North Carolinian to be here. We are at RagApple Lassie, one of my favorite wineries, not just because they're awesomely nice people, but because they're awesomely nice people that make awesomely nice wine. So very excited. Lenna is here with us. She is one of the owners with her husband, Frank. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
We're excited to be here trying some wine. So they make about 1,001 different kinds of wines, but we're only going to try 3 today. I would encourage you to come back, and we're going to give their address and their contact info at the end, but we would definitely encourage you to come back and try all of their stuff. So what do you have for us today? So excited. Oh, actually, no, we're going to need to talk about how you came up with your name. They're called RagApple Lassie, and it's based on your husband's cow. Is that not true?
Yes.
Go right ahead.
Well, contrary to what a lot of people think, we didn't wake up one morning and say, wouldn't it be great fun to own a winery?
Imagine that.
Imagine. That's not how we began. You're on a 110-year-old family farm that's been in my husband's family.
Wow.
We were primarily a tobacco farm, and when the demise of tobacco began in the mid-1990s, Frank was on the hunt for a plan B to replace tobacco. He said, we have to have a plan B or this farm will be sold to when the next generation inherits
Right.
it. You raise your children and educate them, not necessarily to prime tobacco.
Right.
And his worst nightmare was that this would become a housing development.
Yeah.
So we were on the hunt for something to turn it into, to keep it agricultural forever, intact and self-sustaining.
Right.
So that's
Right.
exactly why we're
And you've
here.
done a real good job with that.
Thank you.
Great stuff.
We've
here.
had great fun with that. So once Frank made the decision that we should look at planting grape vineyards, our initial idea was to plant vineyards and sell the grapes to other wineries.
Sure. Makes sense.
And we were a bit naive in that aspect. We planted vineyards in 2000, and then subsequent years, 2001 and 2002. But initially in 2000, we planted 9 acres to see how they grew. And Frank said, grapes are going to grow beautifully here. We can have a vineyard.
Right.
And the interesting thing was, there were only 2 other wineries. There was not anybody else to sell grapes to.
And how many are there now? There's like 100 and something.
Across the state.
Crazy.
And there are 42 in the Yadkin Valley.
42. So that would keep you pretty busy for a couple weeks if you wanted to come. But go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I was just going. So we joined with a group that was based in Hobson, looking to do a co-op.
Okay.
To allow farmers who wanted to grow grapes as a crop, just the way we had always grown tobacco, and have a market for them.
Great idea.
And we were a part of that, and we initially, we went to meetings every Tuesday and Thursday night, and after a point, we were coming home one night, and I was meowing, and I said, you know, we're going to be coming here every Tuesday and Thursday night the rest of our lives, and we still may not have anything settled. No one had any experience. It was no one's fault.
The blind leading the blind.
It's the blind leading the blind. That's a great statement, because it was one step back and one step forward and four steps back. And so Frank said, well, let's make a list of our options. And he was driving, and we were on our way to dinner. And when we got to the one that we wrote down and said, well, we could just build our own winery and be in charge of our own destiny.
Why not?
Frank slowed the car. He looked at me, and he said, if you're waiting on me, you're backing up. Get your together. And we've never looked back.
There you go. And you came up with RagApple Lassie how?
That's an interesting story. Wine Spectator, let me back up.
Sure.
When California won the blind tasting against France
Right.
in the late 70s.
Yes, ma'am.
Wine Spectator at that point was a tabloid. It was not the nice, slick magazine
Right,
it is
right,
now.
right.
And one of their writers had written in an article in there that said, okay, California, you've proven that you can compete in the world. Take me to the stone where it's engraved that every vineyard or winery in the world has to be named after a geographical feature or the August family name. And think about that. They're
You're
all,
right.
River,
100%.
Ridge, Rock.
Right. You're right.
And about 2 weeks after we'd made the decision that we would build a winery, this article was playing in my mind one night about 3 o'clock in the morning as clearly as I was just reading it.
Wow.
And I'd read it the first time in the 70s and don't even know why I was reading it.
Right.
I grew up in North Carolina. We didn't grow
What do
up
we know
with
about
wine
wine? Right.
with every meal. And I woke Frank up, and then as soon as they said the article ended, where is your creativity?
Right.
I woke up and said, RagApple Lassie
RagApple Lassie.
was Frank's 4-H show calf. Followed him as he rode his bicycle, just like a dog. All his cousins and friends had dogs that trotted behind them. Frank had a calf.
Calf.
And he was so attached to her, and I'd heard so much about her. And actually, I'd met her when we were teenagers at 4-H events. But and I thought, RagApple Lassie,
Brilliant.
that will set us apart.
And it did.
And I woke Frank up in the middle of the night and said, guess what we can name our winery, love? And he said, what? And I tell him, and he sat straight up in bed, and 2 big tears oozed out of his eyes. He was attached to this guy.
Right.
And I knew we'd hit a home run. And we never looked back, except I will tell you, I told a couple of people that we were close to the next day that I thought we were going to name it RagApple Lassie, and both absolutely had a fit. You cannot do that. You cannot not be traditional. You have got to.
Right.
And I said, but I don't live inside the box very much. So
It's not, and y'all haven't.
And that's been really nice because everybody's fallen in love with our little cow.
And you've done great.
And we've had great fun with it.
It's phenomenally great, Frank. Well, I would love to try some of your wines.
Great. Well, I'm going to start you off with our Chardonnay.
Okay, that sounds
We
good.
do not have a bestseller. We have 8 wines that are very similar in sales all the time.
It's great.
But our Chardonnay is probably our signature wine
I would
because
agree.
it is made differently than any other Chardonnays typically here in the valley. It's barrel fermented as opposed to tank fermented. And then it's surly aged.
Explain that to everyone.
Surly aging, surly is French for on the lees, and think pulp and orange juice. If
Right.
you leave all the pulp in place throughout the entire aging and fermentation process, it just gives you more layers of complexity,
Right.
gives you a more golden color, makes it creamy and buttery. And so even non-Chardonnay drinkers end up falling
Right.
in love with our Chardonnay.
So let me just say right off the bat to everyone watching, I do not like white wines. When North Carolina wines first got going hot and heavy, there were very few of them that were anywhere worth drinking. They were so thin. However, you come to RagApple Lassie way back 10 years ago, and this Chardonnay knocked your socks off. So I can only imagine what it's like now. It's been probably a year since I've been here last. I apologize, that's my fault, and I will make sure that doesn't happen ever again in my life. I'll be here more often.
I'll remind you.
Please do. But this wine was amazing 10 years ago. I'm excited to try it today. It is a true Chardonnay in every sense of the word, to compete with anything you've ever would have in California or whatnot. And California, to me, has gotten so bad about their Chardonnays, they taste like they were made in a lab. They aren't honest anymore, and y'all have some really, I'm excited to try. So,
Great.
here we go.
We've been very pleased, and with the receptions of our Chardonnays.
So that's even more of a, like you said, layers. There's even more layers today than there were even last time I tried
Right.
this. Great job. What does this run, before I forget, what does this run for people to come in here buy this?
By the bottle,
By the
$18.
bottle. $18 a bottle, so
Now, there's
phenomenally
a nice
good price.
there's a nice discount if you're a wine club member, and we have a large number. of
We'll
wine
make
club
sure everyone
members,
knows how to
and-
join the wine club, definitely.
Great.
Beautiful.
Great.
Well,
But thank you. We've
yes.
been this was best of show winner almost as soon as it came out of the gate.
No doubt.
9 years ago.
No doubt.
9 years ago. But I will say at this point, every wine that we make owns at least 2 international awards. And we were named finalists for Best New Winery by the Wine Appreciation Guild in San Francisco. So we've been very blessed.
yes, hard work.
Well, hard work.
Blessed equals
we-
hard work.
Thank you. We'd like, a lot of people came to visit us because we were tobacco farmers and they wanted to see what was happening. And then we made
Delicious.
believers out of them with our wines.
You've done good.
So
That's
we're
great.
go-
Highly recommend everyone come and try that. Great stuff.
Okay. Well, then the next one I think I'd like to share with
Okay.
you is our Zinfandel. We have the only dry red Zinfandel grown in North Carolina.
I'm a Zen head, if everyone knows.
And you don't tell a farmer he can't grow something.
That's right.
And they initially said to Frank, and
Can't
we had
grow it.
worked with consultants or whatever, that Zinfandel was not going to do well in North Carolina, nor would Pinot Noir. So Frank had test plots, you know,
Right.
5 rootstocks, 5 clones, different
Right,
things
right.
to see what would happen. And Pinot Noir, they were right about. The skins are just too thin, and we have
Right.
too much heat and humidity.
It's a tough grape bit for anybody to grow.
Right. Zinfandel has done beautifully.
Phenomenally. I'm excited.
And you'd be amazed how much people from California actually like our Zinfandel, because it has all the fruit and flavor, but it doesn't have the raised alcohol content
That is an issue
that
with
is
this
being
grape.
added, you know, to wines. And so
Wow. This is totally unlike anything you'd ever have.
this is great. This is one of Frank's
Wow.
pride and joy.
It's like it's like if French did Zinfandel, it's subtle. It's got a lot of different layers. I like that. That's
Yeah,
really
but
cool.
it has some spice on the end.
Yeah.
It has nice spice on the end.
It's definitely not that atomic nuclear bomb that you get from California. That is really good.
Great story. Now I'm going to play with your palate. just a
Okay.
bit.
Uh-oh.
You don't like white.
I'm not
and
a huge
I'm sure
white-
you're not going to like anything that's off dry. But this is an off dry white.
Okay.
Its name is Boonville Blanc.
I appreciate anything. And I've
it's
had this
named
before.
after the town
After
that
the
we're
town.
in.
Right.
Basically, this is a sweetened Viognier, and Viognier is fun. But I want
It's like
you
a dessert wine.
Well, it is, but it also goes with like shellfish, the softer shellfish, lobster, shrimp, crab meat, in an Alfredo sauce or whatever. And it doesn't stay sweet. By the
Right, it
third
finishes
swallow,
dry.
It finishes
Right.
dry. But I want you to have 2 or 3 swallows of that. And then this is a piece of white chocolate with coconut.
White chocolate.
Eat that, and then have some more wine, and you'll be drinking the best pina colada you've ever had in your life. And that's just to show you, you know, the right pairings, something put together.
Wow. You're right.
It can totally change the wines. It can totally change your perception of it when it's a great pairing.
I know it sounds like they paid me to brag on these wines, but I'm being completely honest. This
But
is
isn't
really
it cool?
good.
It is. Even people who say, I don't
don't like
drink
red
off-dry
wines."
wines, or I
Right.
don't like white wines, they end up liking the pina colada quality.
I need to get a bottle of this and a piece of coconut pie, I think.
Yes,
I'd be good to go.
absolutely.
Awesome. Well,
That's
please,
wonderful.
while I'm finishing this last sip, let everybody know how they can find you, your website, and anything you want to tell them. Let everybody know about you.
Great. We are located in Boonville, North Carolina. We're just 20 miles west of Winston-Salem, an hour due north in Charlotte, a couple of hours from Raleigh.
Not too far at all.
We have a website, RagAppleLassie.com,
Makes sense.
and you can connect with us. We also have a Facebook page, so you can connect to us on Facebook. You can go to our website and the emails. You can sign up for I send out a weekly email telling you what's going on around here, helping people, entice them to come see
There
us
you go.
with unique things. And if I miss a week, I actually get emails saying, did you take me off your list? I
Did
didn't
you
get
forget me?"
my email this week. So we have great fun with our email.
Very good.
But we're open 7 days a week from noon until 6, and we have 11 different wines that you will enjoy tasting.
Well, we're going to show a picture of the wines. We're also going to show your winery here. It's really neat. It's very unique in the area, and I love it. I think it's really cool. It's great.
Thank you.
And warm people, warm winery, everything awesome about it. So thank you for your time today.
You are
We
most
really
welcome.
appreciate it. For further episodes of this, go to Wine and Real Estate TV, spelled as always, wineandre.com. I should say spelled WINEANDRE.com. Thank you, everyone. This has been Chris Morton, your host.
Lenna, Hobson, thank you. Come see us.
Take care. Bye-bye.